Past the gouged out grass, fluttering plastic bags hung over scaffolding. Where the student union had been, there were metal webs over scraped wood. I smelled gasoline and fresh lumber. We stood there, our noses a foot from the chain link fence topped with barbed wire. What the fuck? I used to hang out here with Lucky all the time. You know, right after school ended? A sign read, "Caution. Hard hats only. All visitors must check in an office." Yeah, I don't know. We should check it out anyway. There's gotta be something cool under all this shit. I slipped my hand along the fence, glinting along the lampposts. Grabbed the end pole. I slipped between two fence sections, stepped into mud. Come on, this looks kind of exciting. Mel followed me. We sloshed through a dark passageway edged by scaffolding. I stuck my feet on concrete ledges on either side to skip the mud. Yellow dirt-smeared plastic hung thick on one side, the familiar wood of the building on the other. Hey, look, that's what the paradox used to be, Mel said. Pressed her hands to form a dark hollow in the window. Inside, there was a dark white room. A pink insulation white column speared the middle, held it. We pressed it, rounded the corner of the building. The scaffolding stopped. A green truck loomed up where a delicate table used to be. I remember damp nights waiting on those wrought iron chairs for some punk band to stop. For Mel to get off a paradox shift at midnight and come run around with me. I remember the halos of the late night mist around the plaid pantry. Mel and I scuffling our feet in the gravel, trying to decide who was going to risk the fake ID this time. Mel ran and pulled at the heavy door. It opened. She jumped up and sat on the cracked vinyl. Turned the wheel. Made honking and whistling sounds between her teeth. Hey, don't. What if the security guy comes by? We'll be screwed. Come on, it's past 2 a.m. There's no one here. I stared up at her. Imagine the truck rocketing off towards the chain link fence and barbed wire over the brick rooftop of the dorm straight ahead. The lamppost lit the chrome with his eerie alien light, cutting her finely curved face into harsh crescents. I turned around, glared at the new copper flourishes on the old student union building, said, I hate this. I really do. It looks like Portland State. What happened to all my dust bitches tags? Mel bent the wheel over, slid down the side of the truck to the mud. Yeah, you really went wild with that one. It was one way to make a point. Sure, but what point? That you marked your territory? Pissed on it? Well, sure. I love me a little spray paint, sure. But however clever, it will always get painted over. Anyway, let's see if the inside's any better. I think the main door is around the corner we passed. Mel and I backtracked through the scaffolding, past the coffee shop again, through the windows of what looked like offices. The door handles were locked. Chain closed the padlock. I lifted it, rattled it around. Empty. The worn couches I used to sleep on. Gone. The elegant stand-up ashtrays. The 1970s National Geographic collages. The mechanical bowl. Gone. The wood was waxed to a golden sheen. Huge shadows fell across it, laced by falling dust. Not better. Worse. I cracked my near-empty can of PBR over the door chain, baptized it into something else, pouring one out for the dust bitch's spectral presence, spilling the dregs of my beer onto the musty concrete steps. The dust bitches were my housemates, Carla, Liz, Tondi, Mel, and I. We liked to pretend that we were in a girl gang. Mainly, we just went to metal parties. I still have the old photograph of Carla, Liz, and I, decked out in our metal tees and short vinyl skirts, my hair a burst of blonde frost with black edges. Carla's red lips were clenched around a Capri menthol cigarette. She always smoked Capri menthols. Always. Past the scaffolding, we walked across the dark lawn to the swing set. Sat down. My feet rocketed upwards. The lawn flashed by for a second before I swung down and back. A dormitory loomed like a giant bouncy castle. Next to me, Mel swung higher. Her black canvas shoes collided with the sky. I can't deal with Lucky anymore, she said. A braid of her ragged hair tumbled off towards the grass. He was so charming for the first 3 weeks. I really started to like him, but now he's been like Mr. Sulky, non-communicative all last week, okay? Finally, the other day, I went upstairs and tried to talk to him about it, but you know how he is. It was a poorly kept secret that I was in love with Mel. Felt she could do a lot better. She liked to date dangerous men. What do you say? I asked. Seems like Mel began. He just quit talking to me. He just hangs around the house, watching one Robert Mitchum movie after another. The steel arch of the swing set bound us in. I remember talking to Lucky a couple weeks earlier, encircled by the dim glow of the candles the last time we'd forgotten to pay the electric bill. We talked about this band and that band, Berkeley versus Portland. He had some good things to say about living life vividly. I remember thinking, he's in a fucked up place, but he's a good guy. He had a rough sincerity that I liked. But all that sympathy dropped as soon as he started ignoring Mel. Yeah, it was shitty. He kept saying things like, I don't have to answer to you. You're not a part of this. Just shutting me out completely. And we had something. As of 3 days ago, we were together. But he suddenly decided I don't exist. You do exist. You deserve to be recognized as a person. And you pay rent, which he certainly knows about. I gripped the swing chains harder. I couldn't help talking shit about Lucky now. Yeah, I'm so sick of this nurturing bed. It's like, oh, poor little plant pantry robber. Oh, but you wish boo. The cops are gonna get you. Oh, I feel sorry for you. I mean, he got himself into this situation. There are 1,000 other ways he could live his life. He chose this. He's going to have to deal with it instead of expecting me to join in and get sucked into his self-pity thing or some dumb shit Bonnie and Clyde. Not interested. Mel's face twisted up. Well, from what I've seen, all he does is sit around and feel sorry for himself, alternating with violent holdups. I said, can you really feel sorry for someone like that? Dark oaks were silhouetted against the deep blue sky under my feet. I swept up, faster and faster. I remember I said, I remember when I was going with that one all I ever did with him was sit around and watch him shoot up, which was depressing. I mean, he would talk about he was quitting, how I was counting on me to help him, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, right. But I was such an idiot. I mean, I kept hanging out with him and trying to help him, fucking him. Finally, I walked in on him and his roommate, this redhead, shooting up together, and she had his hand on his forehead, and I realized right then they'd been sleeping together the whole time, so I got the hell out, and quick. Sometimes there's no point in sticking around to watch someone destroy themselves. I wanted to protect Mel from experiences like this, even if I really couldn't. Yeah, I feel like because he's made friends with some of the housemates, he thinks he can just stay indefinitely and scrawl Robert Mitchum over like it's his private playpen. I mean, whether he's dating me or treating me right or not. Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, fuck, it just makes a bigger problem worse. Yeah, Dustbin is a party house and a crazy kid house and all that, but people also live here. Us. We do. The travelers, the partiers, they forget that. And I mean, they act like it's public property. Those two older biker dudes, Bud and Eddie, they come over all the time. They creep me out a lot. But I'm afraid to kick them out because I fear the wrath of Carla. She's friends with them as long as they've got smokes and whiskey. Can they buy us that easily? The sky clouded over. Purples and grays like cheap eyeshadow. I think some of us, yeah. Jesus. But lucky. He's the one I really can't deal with. Of all of the abuses of the house, his are the worst. He's hurting me more than just writing "Sacked over with Lee" or whatever the fuck all over the walls. Mel let her legs fall limp. The swing shuddered. You need to talk this out with him, I said. I stuck my heels down, skidded in the sand. Okay, let's go back up there. I'll try and deal. Or kick some ass, or something. She was unsure. She jerked her leg on the swing, flew backwards, forwards, jumped out over the black lawn, a yellow shadow over the sky.